everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Tuesday and it is the first day of the KGMTL challenge, so I hope that all of you are doing it and getting started, and I hope that it goes really well for all of you. If you need any info on it, you can check back on my video from last week. But today I want to talk about something completely different, and that is cystic acne. It is something that I get asked all the time about. It's something I personally suffered from. It's something that so many women suffer from, so many teenagers suffer from. What I'm talking about is more like adult cystic acne in relations to hormones, and there are just so many things that I've learned along the way through my journey with cystic acne, and I'm gonna get into all of that today. Before I get into my whole experience with cystic acne and my suggestions on how to help get rid of it and how to like keep it out of your life forever, I just sort of want to touch base on what acne is, what cystic acne is, and sort of like do a little overview on that, because that's what I am. I'm research driven. Basically, the main cause of acne are blocked or clogged pores that lead to bacteria and yeast overgrowth in the skin, and basically what comes out are pimples. So that's what acne is, but cystic acne is a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more severe. What differentiates cystic acne from regular acne is that they're a lot more painful, they're a lot deeper, they last a lot longer, and basically a buildup of dirt and oil deep in your hair follicle and in the pores. So that's why it's like super deep and really hard to get out and hard to kind of like deal with and address. So yes, it's acne, but it's a much more severe type of acne because it's a lot deeper and it starts in the hair follicle. There are so many things that come into play when trying to understand where cystic acne is coming from. In general, to me, cystic acne is really a hormonal imbalance. It's your body's way of telling you that like, SOS, something is off, you gotta balance those hormones. It also can be from inflammation, it can also be from products you're using, it can be from your environment, but the reality is that it is your body's way of sort of telling you like, SOS, something is off, you gotta change something, and it's coming out in your skin. You can't just stop and think, oh, it's normal, we all get pimples. Like, yes, we all get pimples, you know, during our period or during PMS or things like that, but at the same time, if you're constantly getting them and if they're really like around the jawline, which is where most cystic acne occurs in your hormone zone, so just all around this area, your body is trying to tell you something, so listen to it. A lot of people suffer from acne and cystic acne. I think that it's more common in like teenagers, that when we're going through puberty and our body and our hormones are sort of all over the place, it's kind of normal to have that oily, broken out skin. But once we sort of get beyond that stage and you start getting pimples and acne later in life, you know, in your 20s, where your hormones should be a little bit more balanced and not as all over the place, you start to have to wonder like, what's going on in my body that's causing this to come out in my skin. The thing about cystic acne is that it's super, like, I know it's gonna sound maybe extreme, but it's depressing. My entire life, I always had really good skin. I was very lucky. I literally could have put like a scented body cream on my face and I would not get a pimple. I might have gotten a rash, but I wouldn't have gotten a pimple. So I never really had like skin that was prone to breakouts. I rarely had pimples. I would maybe get 1 or 2 pimples like a few times a year, and that was really it. Even during like my period or during PMS, never really got a pimple, and I was very fortunate. When I started changing my lifestyle, changing my diet, eliminating things, my skin actually got worse in the beginning, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I had never had a pimple in my life, and I was getting just like all these really deep pimples on my jawline, and they hurt, and it would take months for them to go away. And obviously all I wanted to do was get them away, so I was playing with them. I was using all kinds of different like lotions and skincare routines and lasers and like all different types of techniques to try and get rid of them, and they just wouldn't go away. And to be honest with you, it was like, not to sound over dramatic, but it was really depressing. I would wake up in the morning and I would like run to the mirror and be like, did it work? Like, did whatever I worked last night help? And in general, it didn't. And it was just disheartening. I don't know what another word to use, but disheartening, because I was putting so much effort into trying to fix it and it just wouldn't stop and it wouldn't go away. And it would just seem like every time I would sort of be done with one, another one would be coming, and then that one would scar, and it just started to really take a toll on me. And I didn't know what else to do. Like I felt lost. I felt like I was doing everything right. I felt like I was trying everything, and you know, using drying lotion, like things that were for blemish or acne prone skin. And I was like, how is it that this isn't helping me? And furthermore, it's actually making it worse. Like, what is going on? I started to kind of like lose hope. At the time that I was suffering with cystic acne, I actually had just gotten engaged and my wedding was approaching. So it was a full year between like when I got engaged and my wedding. And I was trying everything. I cut out caffeine. Again, like I said, I was trying laser treatments. I tried acupuncture, changed all my skincare routines to things that were for like oily skin or blemish prone skin, because in the past, I never had that. And then all of a sudden I did. So I was like, okay, I got to change up my skincare routine now. And it didn't help. And I was kind of at a loss. I didn't really know what to do. I was so worried that, you know, for my wedding day that I would have pimples and I would have breakouts. And the thing about cystic acne, it's not like other acnes where you can kind of cover it up. Like, no matter what you do, even if you cover up with makeup, it might blend into your face, but that like spot, like it's always gonna be there because it's inflamed and they're really like hard and big. And I was getting married in Miami. I knew the sun was gonna be on me. I knew I was gonna be taking professional pictures and be outside. And I was just really, really worried that you would see it in my pictures and furthermore in person. And it just, I don't know, it made me feel really bad about myself because I had never dealt with it before and I was like, why is this happening to me? Who is trying to punish me? I felt like I had tried everything. In the moment, that's how I felt. Now today I know I hadn't tried everything, but I basically went to go see my dermatologist and I decided to allow him to put me on a medication to help me with the breakouts and help me get it under control. He put me on a medication called doxycycline, which is basically like an antibacterial medication. It's also prescribed for things like STDs. So when I looked into it, I just figured, okay, this makes sense. It's an antibacterial. It's gonna kill the bacteria, which is gonna stop the pimple from growing, and I'm gonna be all good. He also gave me some topical stuff, which basically made my skin super, super thin, and it didn't help me at all. All it did was really dry out my skin. Now, going back, I'm so mad at myself for allowing myself to get on these medications. I, in the time, just felt like I didn't have another choice. I'm like, I was getting married. I felt like I had tried everything, and I was like, this is what it is. I'm going to have to go on a medication. I cannot believe this. So that's what I did. I went on for a few months, and then right when my wedding was over, I got off the medication and I switched up everything. And that is when my cystic acne went away. The medication did not make it go away. Yes, I guess that it helped in the sense that I got less pimples, but they were still coming, maybe not as many, but they were still there. They were still taking just as long to go away. And worst of all, the medication and the topical stuff was making me scar far worse than I would have had I not been using it. So do I think that medications are useful? Absolutely not. They are not the answer. I do not recommend ever going on a medication for your skin. Please understand that when you have cystic acne or any sort of skin disorder, it comes from within. And those medications are Band-Aids. So maybe it's gonna help you for a month or two, but then you gotta get off them. You cannot live your life on an antibacterial medication. It is so bad for you. It thins out your skin. You can't go in the sun. And it's just, you can't live your life on a medication. That's the honest truth. You gotta get to the root cause of problems. And that is what I wanna talk about next. How I solve my cystic acne debacle and situation. As you guys may or may not know, my father is like super informed on skin, health, and supplements. I learned pretty much everything I know from him, and the reason that I am the way I am is because of him. I'm really my father's daughter. He's just somebody who's really, really informed and is very proactive. I take after him in that regard. So basically, we had a conversation after the wedding. He's like, you gotta get off the medication. I was like, I agree, I don't wanna be on this. No joke, when I was on it, my skin was so thin, I could not go in the sun. Even at the week of my wedding, that was in Miami, I had to wear a hat the whole time. My face was like white from like the zinc oxide sunscreens that I was using because I was literally scared shitless to get my face in the sun, because what happens when you're on these medications, it thins out your skin so much that you'll get like super burnt and your face is like, you're more prone to like scarring and photo aging. So it was just really, really scary. So right after my wedding, I instantly got off of the medication, and my dad gave me a product called Living Libations. This was my first intro into the Living Libations line. Living Libations, you guys have heard me talk about it before, is a super natural skincare line where they use a lot of different oils, essential oils, and it's all organic and cold pressed, and it's all super, super good for you ingredients. And he was like, you gotta stop using water on your face. You have to stop drying out your face, and you need to start oil cleansing. Don't ask how my dad knows this stuff. He just does a lot of research. So this is the C. Buckthorn Best Skin Ever Oil Cleanser. I have shown and will show more on my Instagram story how I oil cleanse. I'm sure I'll do a YouTube segment in the future. But basically what I started doing was I stopped using a cleanser in the morning because the water dries out your skin. So what I would start to do is I would just do oil cleanser directly on my face, rub it in for about 30 seconds to a minute. What oil cleansing does and the way that oil cleansing works is that oil follows oil. So the oil goes in and it basically pulls out those bad oils in your skin, but it leaves the good oils and it keeps you hydrated. So think about water. When you wash your face and you put water onto your face and you're mixing that to oil, which is what's basically at the root of your pimple, oil and water don't mix. It kind of just bounces off each other. So it's not really bringing anything out. All it's doing is just drying out the top layers of your skin. This goes into your skin, into the pore, and pulls out that oil that's inside. So if you actually think about it from a scientific point of view, this makes full on sense. So I replaced my cleansing morning and night with oil cleanser. Currently today, I always oil cleanse after a workout just because I know that there's a buildup of oil under my skin. But if you're suffering from cystic acne or really sensitive skin or dry skin, oil cleansing, I highly recommend this to you. Again, all products as usual will be linked in the description below on this video with links to buy. Other than oil cleansing, the other thing that I really want to mention is drying lotions. I was always using this Mario Badescu drying lotion. I know a lot of people love it. And drying lotions are excellent if your pimple is at the surface. Like if you could see a little bit of the infection or the white on top and it's not a deep pimple, use your drying lotion. But if your pimple is cystic, do not use drying lotion. And I'm going to explain why. When you use a drying lotion, you're basically taking it and you're covering that area. You're creating a barrier so that the infection or whatever oil or bacteria is inside, it can't come out. So you're actually just barricading it in to your skin and it's not able to come out. What you need to be using are things that are gonna pull out the infection and pull out the bacteria. This also is a product from Living Libation. It is called the Doodab. It has all kinds of essential oils in it. It has lavender, it has tea tree oil, it has frankincense. It has a bunch of pure essential oils that are really, really targeted at getting rid of cystic acne and acne in general. This is an excellent product. It lasts forever. A little dab will do you, and it's called the Doodab by Living Libations. Again, will be in the link in my bio. The other thing that I literally swear by is Egyptian Magic cream. Egyptian Magic is filled with all of the bee properties. So it has bee propolis, royal jelly, bee pollen. It also has olive oil. It also has, what else? Beeswax, honey. All of these things are very, very good for antimicrobial, antibacterial. It really helps pull out the infection. It is more of like an ointment. It seems like a greasier texture, but I promise you this stuff will never clog your pores. It will actually do the opposite. It will sort of like go in and think of it like a wave. Like it goes in and it will just push out all of that bad bacteria. On the weeks where my skin is like rashy or I'm getting my period or I'm having a few pimples, I'll literally use this all over my face and I wake up with glowing skin and my pimples are half the size. Something else with skincare that is super important is using serums. So when it comes to a vitamin C serum, I love, the Drunk Elephant. I talked about it in my morning skincare routine. I sort of alternate between these two, the Drunk Elephant C Firma and the CEO Brightening Flash Serum from Sunday Riley. They're both excellent. What I love about a vitamin C serum is that it really helps exfoliate the skin, it brightens, and it really just helps get everything moving. It produces collagen, and it just gets things going. So whatever's going on inside, it's gonna help push everything to the surface. The point is that you wanna get that bacteria out of your skin and away so that the pimple goes away faster, the inflammation goes down. So this is gonna help fight all of that. It's gonna help fight the inflammation, tons of antioxidants. Everyone should be using a vitamin C serum every morning. I'm very passionate about it, as you guys know. And then at night, I really suggest using a good night serum, an AHA, so a alpha hydroxy acid night serum. This one from Drunk Elephant, the Framboos, is excellent for sebum production. Basically what glycolic and lactic acids do is they really help exfoliate the skin. They help get rid of those dead skin cells. And by the way, if you listen to the beginning of this video, that's often where cystic acne begins. It begins deep in the hair follicle. It's a bunch of dead skin cells that get piled up, and then an infection occurs, and bam, inflammation, you get a pimple. So this you definitely want to be using. I just went over skincare and how skincare can help treat it, but that's just topical. The reality is that our root issue with cystic acne really comes from within. So what I really want you guys to be doing and focusing on is your gut microbiome connection to your skin. Number one, Good thing that you guys are hopefully doing the KGMTL challenge, because gluten and dairy are the #1 culprits of skin disorders and skin issues. Imagine your gut lining as a mosquito net, and then when you eat sugar, gluten, and dairy, it basically makes these little holes in your gut lining, and then they pass through your gut lining into your bloodstream, and bam, inflammation in the skin, because these things are not good. Dairy is filled with hormones, and it really imbalances your hormone. Gluten is supposed to be sprouted, and our bodies don't know what to do with it, comes out in your skin. Sugar, also seriously acidic, and also affects our hormones, and very, very inflammatory. So gluten, dairy, sugar, highly inflammatory foods, highly acidic, that we do not want passing through our gut microbiome, getting into our bloodstream, and causing inflammation that in turn comes out in our skin. On the topic of gut, it would be a really good idea to start adding a probiotic to your day-to-day routine. Probiotics help line your gut with good bacteria that fight off the bad bacteria, so that things like gluten, dairy, environmental stressors, whatever, cannot pass through and cause that inflammation in our bodies. So if you are not already taking a probiotic, I highly suggest you do. If you want more information, you can scroll down and watch my vitamin and supplement video, where I go more into all of the amazing benefits of probiotics. I'm all about eating for benefits, and you can eat for the issues that you have. If you have cystic acne, then you want to be eating probiotic-rich foods, fermented veggies, bone broths, cultured foods, and kombucha, of course. And you really want to just help build that gut lining. So gelatin, collagen, all of those things are really good for you. Getting good quality organic meats, very important to build the gut lining. I really think that what you eat, what you're consuming, taking a probiotic and really healing that gut, and also the skincare that you're using, making sure that it's natural, safe, and effective, are super important when dealing and combating cystic acne. Furthermore, from that, I think that it's really, really important that we do not touch our pimples. It's a very hard rule to live by. I myself have done Insta stories and been like, don't pop your pimples, get a pimple, and then I'm like, I get it. It's literally, first of all, it's fun, because you're just you really feel like you're gonna get something, but it is not the solution, and it's actually making it worse. I read an amazing article that Morgan sent me one time from Into the Gloss, from this I don't know, some facialist who does all these celebrities, and she said that the rule is that if you have a pimple, you try to pop it twice. So you pop it once, nothing comes out. You go again, nothing comes out. You do not touch it for 24 hours. The reason for that is that if it doesn't come out in 2 pushes, it's not ready to come out, and all you're gonna do is anger that pimple. When you push on an active pimple, what do you think happens? You're pushing all the oil and bacteria that's inside the skin that's causing the pimple to be there, it spreads. That's why you'll often notice that you'll start to get clusters of pimples around each other. That's because you're popping your pimple, you're touching your face, you're picking at it, and you're just angering it. You need to really just let it be and stay calm. Don't stress about it. Listen, I've been there. I know it's hard not to stress about it when you have this huge thing on your face, but I can promise you that nobody is looking at it the way that you are. It's not as big of a deal as you think. Just let it be. Don't overthink about it. Just be like, okay, it's a pimple. I have it. Let me give it a day or two, and just move forward from it. Don't obsess. Don't stare in the mirror at it. Don't tell it. Don't be like me and talk about it all the time. I'll be on Instagram and be like, I have a pimple. I have a pimple. It's harder for me because I'm literally staring at my face, and when I have a pimple, it's I feel like I need to address it. But even at that, it's never as bad as you think, so do not obsess, and just let it be, and do not pop it, whatever you do. The more you pop it, the more you play with it, the longer it's gonna stay. I have had pimples that have stayed for 6 months. The pimple's been gone, but the scar has been there for so long. I had one on my forehead last year. I think the scar lasted 4.5 months. Something else that I find is super helpful is exercising, getting that lymphatic system going, draining out the lymphatic system really helps get things moving. So do your exercise. When you're done, wash your face. Something else I want to point out is don't overwash your face. When I was dealing with my cystic acne, I was everything I do, I'd wash my face in fear that I was adding more bacteria. The key here is that you do not want to be drying out your skin. You don't want to be overwashing. You just do it twice a day. If you're working out, do it 3 times a day. Do the oil cleansing, and make sure that you're just not overdoing it and over drying out your skin. That's just gonna make the cystic acne stay longer. You really need to moisturize them out. Earlier in the segment, I talked about the doodab from Living Libations and how it contains a lot of amazing essential oils. If you do not want to buy this product, you can also use essential oils like lavender, tea tree oil, frankincense. You can actually put them directly onto the pimple that you have, and it will really help reduce the inflammation. It will go in there and sort of start fighting that bacteria and help get rid of it. You can also mix it into a carrier oil like jojoba oil or sweet almond oil and use it all over the face if you're dealing with it everywhere. But essential oils are super powerful and super helpful at like going in and getting that infection out. So I would highly suggest using an essential oil over something like a drying lotion or a drying cream. Another supplement or vitamin that is super helpful when it comes to cystic acne is zinc. I take a zinc supplement every single day, or a zinc vitamin, I guess. I don't know if they're vitamins or supplements. I think it's the same thing. I take a zinc vitamin every day. You can also eat foods that are very rich in zinc. You guys have seen on my Instagram, I'm always eating hemp seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds. Those are super, super rich in zinc. Things like pumpkin seeds are really good. So do your research, Google zinc rich foods, and get some more zinc in your diet. Add a zinc supplement to your everyday routine if you're suffering from cystic acne, because zinc will really, really help with that. You want to be getting a lot of fiber, so again, flax, lots of green vegetables, lots of fibrous vegetables, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, all of those kinds of things are also going to be excellent for helping fight cystic acne. You definitely want to be avoiding dairy, gluten, sugar, processed foods. All of that stuff is not going to help you. It's going to feed it. It's going to anger it. It's going to cause inflammation. You really want to be reducing inflammation in the body, and you really want to be eating foods that are healing to your gut. They're going to help your gut be strong, keep the good bacteria there to fight off the inflammation from getting into your bloodstream and coming out in your face, basically. So you want to get rid of your cystic acne, and you're eating sugar and dairy and ice cream and gluten. I mean, I don't feel bad for you because you're angering it. Now you have the information, now you know better, so just cut it out. And if you don't know where to start, go watch my challenge video and join the challenge. The last thing that I want to mention, I've sort of mentioned it throughout this video, are just different supplements that you can take to help cure your cystic acne, to help get it moving along faster and help your skin be healthier and clearer. A good zinc vitamin is important to incorporate every day. I take 1 capsule a day in the morning. Definitely an omega-3, so important to get those omega-3s. We have so many omega-6s in our diets. Those are super inflammatory. You want to be balancing that inflammation by adding an omega-3 supplement. I really believe in krill oil if it's sustainably sourced. You guys can go watch my vitamin and supplement video for more information on krill oil. This one is excellent from Dr. Mercola because it also has another supplement that is awesome for the skin, and that's evening primrose oil. It also helps reduce inflammation and bacteria in the skin. So I highly suggest, if you're suffering from cystic acne, to get this exact supplement because it really targets what you're trying to fight. Of course, we can't forget the probiotics. Heal the gut, get it going. If you don't want to do probiotics, bone broth every single day. I would definitely say that if you're suffering from cystic acne and you're just sort of like lost, those 3 supplements are really going to help you. And they'll also help with other skin disorders. It's not like it's just specifically for cystic acne, but in general, those are really 3 good supplements to be taking every day. And suffering from cystic acne is really one of the worst things because it's generally on your face and it's uncomfortable and it makes you feel really insecure, makes you feel a lot less confident, which is what none of us ever really want, right? The whole goal is to feel amazing in our skin. You want to be able to go to the gym, not wear makeup. You know, it's like a vicious cycle. It's like you have the acne, you cover it up, you put things on it to make it better, and all it's really doing is making it worse. Try and add in the supplements that I suggested. Cut out the gluten, cut out the dairy, cut out the sugar, and eat a lot of vitamin-rich food. I promise you it will start to go away and only get better. And understand that if you are suffering from cystic acne, your body is trying to give you a warning sign like, hello, please help me. I really hope this video was helpful for you guys. This is a topic I get asked a lot about. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Any questions or comments, leave them below. And please, guys, subscribe to my channel. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Mwah.